G'day, Steve Morgan. Fishing Monthly Magazine's down here on a beautiful day on Port Phillip Bay, and I'm with the guys from Port Phillip Boating Centre. Phil Petrius, you've been a Haines Hunter dealer for a long time.
Yeah, we have just over 20 years now, Steve. It's been a good journey actually.
And not only Haines Hunter, Yamaha, that relationship, you've had a motor and a boat brand for decades. You must love the product.
Yeah, I do. When I first started, obviously I had intentions of starting a boat dealership, and I thought, well, there's only two brands that I wanted to be associated with, and that's Haines Hunter and Yamaha, and also McKay Trailers have been a long time dealer for them as well. So yeah, it's worked out well.
Is it a little bit parochial, like you love a Victorian built boat, being a Victorian, a Victorian trailer, Victorian boat? If only they made the Yamahas in Vic.
Yeah, that'd be good. But I guess so. I mean, I think for me it was growing up as a young fella in boats, and always we had some few Haines Hunters in the family, and always had Yamaha, and obviously Yamaha just never let us down. So just fell in love with that brand, and Haines Hunter in Port Phillip Bay, where it can get a bit choppy. They've always been a good riding hull with the older style hulls, which this is actually one of them that is based off one of the old V17Ls. So yeah, they just ride fantastic, and being locally built does help. Yeah, it does.
How far is your dealership from the Haines factory?
Only 10 minutes away, which is very, very convenient. So that's just a bonus, I guess.
Tell us about people that are tired of being in tinnies and want to get into a glass. They've probably heard about how glass rides well. Is this the sort of package we're in today? It's the 535 Sportfish. This is sort of entry-level Haines Hunter, isn't it?
Yeah, very close to it. We've got one smaller model in the 495 and a little Sea Wasp as well. But this has been over the 20 years, because it has been out for that long. Has been one of our biggest sellers, I guess, because of price point is one factor, but actual versatility and what you can do in this particular boat. And like I said, I mean, a lot of people, with all due respect to aluminium, great, serve their purpose, but when you get out into Port Phillip Bay with that short, sharp chop, you just find that the ride and being comfortable is obviously important to the customer. Yeah.
Haines Hunter hulls, heavy hull, good riding hull, and the ones we've been in so far today, very quiet hull on the water. That amenity on the water, a 4-stroke motor, a quiet hull, makes it a pleasant day on the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it does, and that's where fiberglass sort of has got it over, aluminium. I guess they are heavier. They can be designed the way they want to be designed, so it's no secret you're going to get a better quality ride out of a fiberglass boat. That's for sure.
Tell us a bit about what you've done with this hull here. I'm sure it's come with more options today than a standard. You've got the bait board in the back. Tell us what you've added to it.
Yeah, well, this particular boat, we've added some stainless steel rocket launchers, your bimini, front and side clears, nice little low-round sounder. The bait board, as you mentioned, got a set of dual batteries in this thing, a little AM/FM radio, Bluetooth, and a VHF. So yep. I think we're going to be fitting an anchor winch to this too shortly.
I think every person in Victoria wants an anchor winch. Does anyone pull anchors up by hand in Victoria?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Those days are gone. So I don't think we sell a boat without an anchor winch these days.
It's interesting that the cabin size in this boat is a lot bigger than I expected. It gives you a place to get out of the sun and out of the wind and out of the rain. But that one's big enough to sleep in.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what part of the attraction in the 535. I mean, most families, young families, where kids, they might get a bit bored when they're out fishing. So they can, obviously duck into the cabin and have a bit of a snooze or play around in there. And you can have a bit of a snooze in it. You've got 6-foot bunks, so it's very well laid out, this boat. So yeah, can do quite a few different things.
Let's talk about young families wanting to move into this boat. Do you need to upgrade your tow vehicle to tow it? I assume it's not going to be something you need a Dodge Ram to tow. No,
certainly not. I mean, that's the beauty about it these days. Even if a decent sedan will tow it, these will probably come in at just under 1,500 kilos. So, there's not too many cars these days that don't have that towing capacity. So that's obviously a bonus when young families. Or anyone for that matter. We do get a few older people that might be downgrading from a bigger boat where they can't handle it anymore. Yep. No, they don't have to upgrade their cars, which is a massive bonus.
Single axle trailer means it's manoeuvrable in a small situation as well, doesn't it? And this comes on the single axle trailer.
Yeah, definitely. It can come in both, obviously, but generally on a single axle trailer. The feedback that we get, obviously, some people have tight spaces, or they've got to get it in somewhere in behind a garage or a carport. And you can actually physically push it in. Yep. So that is part of the benefit of having that single axle trailer. It's not too hard to manoeuvre.
Let's talk about that Yamaha 130 horsepower 4-stroke on the back. You can't buy 2-strokes anymore, but people have just fallen in love with that the smoke-free, smell-free, easy starting motors that they are, haven't they?
Yeah, even the fuel economy is one of the biggest ones. But yeah, I mean, 4-strokes have come a long way now, and look, that's all we're selling now, and everybody else. So yeah, it's just a bonus when you do go out there. I remember back in the day when I used to be fishing in the old Johnson, 120 VRO, you'd be choking to death. So
yeah, you come with your own camouflage smoke cloud, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And if you're a little bit on the C6 side, that smoke and fumes didn't help. I can tell you that.
One thing, being close to the water down at Point Cook here, you're happy to take people for test rides if they want to get into a glass boat?
Yeah, definitely. We do that all the time. Generally, we've always got demo boats. 9 times out of 10, we can organise a demo boat if we don't have that particular model. I've got a lot of nice customers that are happy to help me out, and they'll lend me their boat if I really need to take a specific model that we haven't got. So they're really good to us. So they'll take us out, and we'll take them out, take people out on personal demos as well. We do have our demo days throughout the year. We actually got one in a couple of days' time. So we're more than happy to do that for sure.
What's the craziest fishing someone's done in one of these 535s?
Well, mate, I've seen them well offshore. I've seen them 50, 60 Ks offshore in Portland, where it does get treacherous. So the limits, I guess, of any boat, I think the limit on the boat is probably more than the actual driver itself. But I mean, you got to be smart about it, don't you? We've got pretty treacherous waters down here with Bass Strait, so you just have to be smart about it and go out and drive the boat to the conditions. So, But it is very, very capable. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's been a hull that's been around for decades, and it's going to be great to take it out of the water today. We've already dropped it in the water, of course. We're going to take it out wide, do a little bit of filming, and come back to you with some of the performance statistics. So there you go. There's the 535 out on the water with Phil from Port Phillip Boating Centre. And how cool is it to have a dealer that's been the same brand boat and motor for over 20 years? I think that's the sort of commitment to the brands that you'd want when you were looking for someone to sell you maybe your first fiberglass boat. As we say, this is an entry-level glass boat that sits on a single axle trailer, which you'll be able to manoeuvre around easily. You won't need to buy a bigger car than a standard large car or SUV to tow this thing, and you'll experience the ride of glass for maybe not as much money as some of the bigger boats in the range. That Yamaha on the back, very economical as well. Let's go through some of the performance stats. The best economy was between 3.5 and 4,500 RPM, where it's in that 1.6 to 1.7 kilometres per litre range. Now remember, whenever you hit the hammers and go as fast as you can in these boats, and this one it's 5,600 RPM going 61 kilometres an hour, you're going to pay a little bit more. But in this case, 1.4 kilometres per litre isn't the half the efficiency or double the usage that you'll see in a lot of the bigger boats. So all round, she's a well-appointed, with quite a large cabin for the hull size, family boat that you can fish out of that might tick all of the boxes for you for your first family fiberglass boat. The full report in Fishing Monthly magazines and on www.fishingmonthly.com.au in the coming months. And we don't do prices in the videos nowadays, so look down in the description if you're interested in how much this boat is going to cost you. See Phil and the guys at Port Phillip Boating Centre for package prices.